So if you're serious about making $1 million in 2025, listen up. Who doesn't want to make $1 million? Because I have been exactly where you are, working my freaking butt off and just feeling stuck and frustrated and wondering why I wasn't making real progress until I made some key changes that really transformed everything. So today I'm going to break down the exact process of how to hit 1 million in 1 year, the real math, what to sell, the skills you need to develop, and most importantly, why you should focus on the work, the journey, not just the number. First, I want to start by taking you back to when I thought the key to making more money was just more work, hard work, and more businesses. At one point, Ali and I had 7 different businesses all running at the same time. And I figured if I just threw a bunch of shit at the wall and I had more, then the better chances of me hitting that big success, right? But the reality is, let me tell you, that was one of my biggest mistakes I ever made. I was spread way too thin, constantly bouncing between projects, and none of them were hitting their full potential. I was stressed to the gills, frustrated, and feeling like I was working harder than ever, but wasn't actually making any kind of money that made a big difference. I knew that I could make that kind of money, but I just wasn't focused. So it wasn't until I cut the dead weight, I shut down / sold 5 businesses, that things really changed. With the new hyper focus, I turned Johnny Slicks into an 8-figure business and then the Agogi into a 7-figure company. By going all in on these businesses that actually had the potential to scale, I stopped running in circles and I started thriving. All right, so let's talk about the numbers. Let's just break down $1 million and what this looks like in 2025. So you need to know exactly how much money you need to bring in every single day. And just like anything else, like if you've watched my planning video, what is the BHAG? What is the big, hairy, audacious goal that we set? Then we break that down into phases. 1 million means 83,333.3333 repeating, of course, for my nerds out there that remember that. That's per month. And then that breaks down to 19,230 per week. And what is that to the day? 2,739 per day will make you $1 million. So that's what you need to generate. That's it. And let me tell you, this is way more doable than you think. And if you're smart about it, you can knock it out. But first, you need to know what to sell. So what are you selling to make 2,739 days? So there's multiple things that you can sell, multiple areas that you can scale. But the first one, I'll talk about this. I'm gonna talk about the high ticket coaching or consulting. So you have a skill, you have an expertise that you've developed over a long period of time. Does that help someone else? So when I built the Agogi, I learned people are willing to invest in guidance and mentorship because of my experience in special operations, what I'd done in business, I could cut their learning curve, right? So what took somebody 3 years, I could teach them to do in 12 months. And so they would pay me for it. So for instance, selling a $5,000 coaching package, not necessarily what the Agogi costs, just making up numbers, selling $5,000 coaching package, you need 1 client every 2 days to hit your goal. What do you have to offer? Whether it's business coaching, fitness, marketing services, whatever it is that your skill is, package it, build a package around that, reverse engineer the math, and offer that high ticket coaching or consulting. So how are you going to do this? Well, you have to build credibility. You have to become an expert in that field. You have to create social proof, and then you have to leverage your network, and you have to market your content. The second thing is same thing, keep it in the same frame of mind of what I just said, of your expertise, is selling a digital course. So a $200 online course, that means you're going to need 14 sales per day. Like for example, what we teach in the Agogi. So that we teach leadership, discipline, family. People are willing to pay for that knowledge. They're not where they want to be. They know they can get somewhere better. They know they have the potential to be better. They were created to be better. So they're willing to pay for that course. So we developed a course to do that within the Agogi. So how do you market it? Well, YouTube, Instagram, freaking Facebook, all this stuff, email, all of this stuff, social media is absolutely free. Yes. Can you pay for marketing? Yes, you can. But the platform itself is free. If I make a video offering value to someone, then that is a free video, right? Now I can turn that into paid ads and start driving traffic that way. Absolutely. The basis, all those platforms are free to use. That's an amazing thing. People are making millions of dollars and really not spending a dime on ads. And then there's email and SMS marketing as well. So that's how you get that stuff up. The next one is e-commerce or physical products. So for instance, we have Johnny Slicks. The math on that, obviously there's multiple products. Our products don't cost this, but the math on this is selling a $50 product. That means you need 55 sales per day. For example, we started Johnny Slicks over 7 years ago, an all natural, American made, organic grooming brand for men. We had, I want to say 3 pomades and a beard oil to start. And We did the same math I'm telling you. We made 6 figures our first year. We became a 7-figure company within 2.5 years running this exact same process. Once I refined the process that I just told you about, all of our marketing, the social proof, everything just took off. So how do you do it? Build a brand, run targeted ads, and then scale up your manufacturing process for whatever the actual physical good is that you are. Now, this one, a lot of people do. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather coach people or sell a freaking physical good and give them real value, but it's a real thing. There's people doing it, making money. Is affiliate marketing, creating passive income. What does that mean? Getting $100 commission per sale, whatever the item is. You have to figure out what the item is and then reverse engineer the math. But for instance, if you were getting $100 commission per sale, you need 28 sales per day. So referring high ticket coaching programs, software, memberships, things on, products on Amazon. I've seen these moms just absolutely crush it on Instagram because they make a reel about something on Amazon they use for their family or their kid. It goes viral, gets over 40 million views, and they've raked in every single sale from that thing for some freaking toaster product and that they've used in their kitchen. It's amazing. I love America, and I love the fact that in 2025 we can do this. So what is their strategy? Same thing. They go on YouTube, they make YouTube channels, they make reels, they make TikToks. They leverage social media, they leverage the algorithm to do their selling for them. That is something for you to do as well. This is really where I think people skip. They really skip this part because they're trying to get rich quick. They're trying to do something that is gonna make them a bunch of money real fast. And that's really not the way that it works. You have to develop your skills to get there. So this is where people really screw up. They think they can just make something sell without actually having to do the work. But that's not it. You have to back it up. You have to have the skills to be able to do this. Before I hit my first 7-figure business, I had to level up. What that means? I got coaching. I went all in on myself. I got business coaches, fitness coaches. I had to learn more. So here's the skills that you need to make money. All right. And this is what I had to do. I'm telling you exactly what I did. Sales, you had to learn how to sell. If you can't sell, you can't make money. And that goes down to a Johnny Slicks product, to explaining to men why the relationship is all messed up. Then marketing and branding. You have to learn how to tell a story. You have to learn how to do story branding and how to attract and retain customers. Not just attract a random customer, but the niche customer. What they say? If you're for everyone, you're for no one. And that was something that I had to learn with Johnny Slicks. In my mind, when we first started Johnny Slicks, I'm like, it's soap, pomade. You bathe, put shit in your hair, like it's for everybody. The reality is it's not for everybody. Johnny Slicks is for a very particular customer. And once we figured that customer and we learned how to brand and market to that customer is when things took off. Next thing being high value expertise. Think about your doctors. General doctor makes what? $150,000 a year. What does a high value expert heart surgeon make? $500,000 to $1 million a year. The top neurologist, brain doctor in the country makes exponentially more than your general GP down the road that's taking your temperature and writing your prescription. So the same thing, become an expert in something that people will pay you for. Become an expert in your field. Whatever your field is that you are in, become the #1 guy in that field and then invest in yourself to gain more knowledge in that field. The next one being your network and your relationships. I cannot stress this enough. Your network is your net worth. Money flows through people. Your connections determine your income. The more that I have leveled up my network and my friends, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. The more I've done that, the more I've focused on that and then cultivated those relationships, the more my net worth and my opportunities have grown. The truth is you don't need more businesses like I did, but you need more focus, you need better skills, and you need a clear path to get there. I love this quote that it's not sales that get you rich. It's not opportunity, it's systems. Systems, scalability, and time leverage. Once you know how to make money, your next goal is to scale. You don't get rich by trading time for money. You get rich by building systems. And this is something that we've had to work on in Johnny Slicks because of the crazy amount of growth that we've had. One of the things we had to scale was our team and our manufacturing. We can't cook in little pots anymore. We have to cook in massive vats. That means the formula has to be, absolutely correct. We need to have the right materials. We need to have the right equipment. We have the right training for that equipment. No matter what it is, whether you're selling a physical good, a coaching product, whatever it is, you need to learn how to scale. To hit $1 million, you have to automate repetitive tasks. task. So what is your repetitive task in your company? Emails, sales systems, customer service, whatever it may be. If you can automate it, do so. You need to build a team that can handle things that you shouldn't be doing. Bigger you get, the more that you need to focus on your zone of genius, the thing that got you there. I know when you're first starting out, you're the customer service team, you're the ads team, you're the manufacturing team. Let me transfer you over, and you're just picking up a different phone. I get that, but it can't be that way forever. The faster that you can get a team member to offload your incompetent, your competent task, and you can work more in the things that you're excellent at, not just competent, but excellent in the zone of genius, that's when things will start to thrive. Offload those things. Once you do that, now you start creating multiple income streams. You start leveraging things up. So like for instance, combining coaching with digital products. Next thing you know, you take your profits from that and you go invest in real estate into something that's going to give you passive income. Create multiple income streams. This isn't the first step, but it's a step down the road. And then once you go from there, you continue to leverage content and authority. People buy from those who trust. The better you become as an expert, the better that you become the authority on the subject is when things will start to really scale. Nick, I've done everything that you said. And I didn't hit $1 million. Well, a lot of you guys probably won't. Some of you will. Somebody will, because it has been done before. Here's the truth. You might not hit 1 million in 2025, but even if you made 100,000 extra dollars, 200, 500, doesn't really matter. Would that change your life? Of course it would. But the thing that I want you to focus on, success is about focusing on the process, the journey. You need to be addicted to the journey, not the number, not the outcome. The outcome is what it is, because if you showed up every damn day and you put it all on the line, you did everything that I said, you were focused, you weren't distracted, you got up at 5:30, you got your get shit done list, you hit the ground running every single day, and you can truly look back on a year and go, I freaking delivered. I went all in. That's the objective. That is what you're addicted to. The outcome is what the outcome is. Sometimes we don't have control of what the overall outcome is, but if you can continuously put your life together in that process, it's not about the number. It's not about if you will be successful. It's just when. It's just the amount of time that it takes to collapse. It wasn't about the number of businesses for me. Like when we shut those 5 businesses down, yeah, it was painful, but it gave me the focus I needed to go all in on the ones that mattered. And that's when things from 2018, 2025, been life-changing for me. And every single year, it's 120% growth year after year. So the goal isn't just to hit 1 million. The goal is to be the kind of person who knows how to make money, build wealth, and scale success. Once you develop that, you will never struggle again, period. These are the skills that you need, that you will be successful no matter what. Will you fail? Yeah, you might have some bumps. You might get some tuition payments. But at the end of the day, if you maintain that discipline and you maintain that, you will be successful. Pick one business model and start now. Stop procrastinating and start executing. Invest in yourself. Invest in a high value skill, and then focus on the work, not the outcome. So guys, comment your number one financial goal for 2025. I want to see what you're working on. And if you got value from this, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Like it, subscribe to this channel. And remember, you are built by discipline. You are driven by purpose. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.